Please excuse any errors, typing from mobile. This happened about 3 months ago. So I went to McDonald's drive-thru, I paid and I got my food. As I'm driving away I glanced over at this glass window where the playground is and I see my friend's boyfriend. He was sitting down in one of the tables with a female around his age and a young boy. I thought it was probably his sister or something. The next day me and my friend meet up to go to the movies together with our children. We buy the tickets but the movie wasn't going to be playing until the next 30 minutes. We go over to the arcade play area and have our kids kill some time. We are standing there keeping an eye on them. I bring up her boyfriend. I mentioned how I saw him yesterday at the local McDonald's. She gave me this weird look and told me that he was working. She asked me what time and told me he was at work around the time I saw him. My head started to connect the dots and I knew where this was going. She asked if anyone else was with him, to which I told her I saw a girl around his age and a young boy. She told me she wanted me to make sure that it was him. For some reason I didn't want to say that I was 100% sure it was him even though I knew it was him. I told her I was not 100% sure but the guy did look like him. The kids interrupted us so we end up walking inside the movie room. The whole time during the movie she seemed like her mind was somewhere else. I felt guilty and told myself how I should have told her after the movie. The plan was to go to the movies and straight home after, but she asked out loud if I wanted to go to the park, so my son started jumping up and down. We arrived at the park. The kids run to the playground and we sit down on a bench and I know what's about to go down. We go into details of what the girl looks like and the timing. She told me she was going to stay quiet and keep an eye on him. For some reason I felt annoyed that I was in the middle of all of this and part of me regretted telling her. I honestly thought the girl was a family member. I didn't know I was snitching someone out. The next day she gives me a call and told me how the night before she went through his phone and found text messages with another girl. She ends up taking this guy out of her apartment and didn't text me or call me for the next 3 weeks. It was not normal because we texted every other day. So 3 weeks later, after I last saw her and talked to her, I got a missed call from her. I noticed how I had a voicemail, so I listened to it. I don't remember the exact words but it goes something like this. Hey, I know you are jealous of my life and wish you could have my boyfriend, but it's not gonna happen for you. Go fuck yourself, loser. I honestly feel shocked. I don't feel sad or angry. I'm guessing she's back with him and thinks I intentionally was trying to break them up. Even though she saw messages, weird. Not sure but I don't care. I'm old enough to not let things get to me. I think next time I'll just keep my mouth shut. Can't believe I got in this mess. I wasn't even trying to start anything. Anyway, that's the story. Here is the second story. So this happened last July. It's been a few months but I still get terrible flashbacks. I had a best friend since high school. When we first met, we actually hated each other. 'Cause we liked the same girl, it was his ex but he wasn't with her at the time and he still liked her. We all ended up getting hired at the same job and I got to know him better and he ended up becoming my best friend. He's been a bit of a troublemaker. He's been kicked out multiple times, screwed over by girlfriends over the times and has had and still has drug issues. But I was always a good friend. I was there when he was broke, I'd lend him money. If he was kicked out he lived with me. If he needed a shoulder to cry on, I'd be that person. In short, I thought of him as a brother. Or so at least I thought. Fast forward, he ends up having a baby with his best friend who is also my best friend 'cause we all game with each other and I had a girlfriend of 3 years as well. Me and him had an apartment in 2018 and my girlfriend and his baby mama / best friend would come over occasionally. In 2019, my best friend, me and my GF got an apartment of our own together and stayed there a couple of months. Around June, we started to get into arguments more than usual and I didn't know why. I think it was because I got a puppy without telling her, but overall, that shouldn't be a huge issue. But she would get drunk and mean as hell, and me, a person, I do not like to smoke, I do not like to drink. Because I would look like a fool, which unfortunately she was looking like. She would get aggressive and I just didn't want to deal with it. One night, we had a yelling fit in front of my best friend and his baby mama, and we had a point where we were questioning the relationship. I still loved her but she had a hard time admitting the same. We made up that night and the next morning she went to work. I got her the job at my place by pulling a few strings, and I was off. Few hours in, I get a call from the baby mama, asking to talk to me. She told me when my best friend was dropping her off, she noticed hickeys on him and he admitted to her that he and my GF were getting it on while I was at work. He threatens her to keep her mouth shut and that I wouldn't have to know because he didn't want to destroy the friendship. Ironic, huh? She shows me the text message telling her to keep her fucking mouth shut and that she'll ruin everything. I was shocked. I confronted them later. They just laughed at my face. She said you weren't paying enough attention, which sounds like a stupid excuse to justify what they did. And when I asked him why, he literally said I don't have to explain myself to you. You should have paid more attention. At this point, I'm just gone. Most people would flat out beat the crap out of someone at this time, but I was just shocked that two people I trusted the most, that I would have gave my life for, I even put them on my life insurance, I took them off, would betray me. They are still together, but from what the baby mama told me, she put child support on him and he's having a hard time paying things, so he's making my ex pay full rent for their one bedroom. At times she can't even pay her phone bill from what I heard. He's been trying to convince her to take off the child support, but she's not budging. I love her, she's a good friend. But I still get flashbacks, and I get depressed like crazy still. I went to the gym, lost a hell of a ton of weight, went from 31% to 18% body fat, so I'm fit now, but I'm at a point where I just don't want to try anymore. I feel like all I'm doing is just working out so I look good in a coffin. I've been cheated on multiple times. I'm a super nice guy, but I'm just tired of people taking advantage of me. I'm losing my emotions, which is a dangerous state, and I just want to give up everything. Can someone let me know what to do or have words of encouragement? Your words would mean the world to me, as this is my last cry for help.